Go clean your room.
It's gonna take forever.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Hey!
It's so dirty.
Okay, who's not listening? I'll get him.
Go clean it.
A traditional parent would look at that and say, wow, way to teach that little boy to respect his father, to respect authority figures, but that's not respect. That's compliance, and they are not the same thing. That little boy is downright afraid of his father, and you can see it because of the countenance change on his face. When he's talking to his mom, he feels safe, showing those vulnerable emotions. But then the minute that dad raises his voice and says, hey, he stops, and he's like, oh gosh, now I've got to put on my mask and act like I'm okay. I can't show these vulnerable emotions to daddy. That is utterly heartbreaking to me. And if you understand that all behavior is communication of a need, you look at that little boy and what he's saying in the beginning of that video, it's gonna take forever. My room is so dirty. And you understand that he's saying, I feel really stressed out and overwhelmed by this, and I just need someone to come in and help me. If we were to put this in an adult scenario and look at the times in our adult lives where we are trying to spin all the plates and handle all the tasks and we feel extremely overwhelmed by that, if someone were to come in a scenario like that and say to us, oh, it's not that overwhelming. Oh, like just get over it. Like you just need to go do all your tasks. That would not be helpful. Number two, if somebody were to come in and say, you better get all those tasks done or you're going to be in trouble, then that too would not be super helpful. And our motivation would be external, not internal, right? What would be helpful in those scenarios is if someone were to come in and say, man, that would feel really overwhelming. What if we were to start just a little bit at a time? Can we break this down a little bit? In the scenario with the little boy, all he needed was someone to come in and say, I can tell that you feel really overwhelmed by this, and that's okay. Let's go break it down. Let's start with your books. Then we'll do your blocks. Then we'll do Legos. And you break it down task by task, and you are meeting the need of that child. You're understanding them. You're helping them feel seen and valued, and you're not shutting them down emotionally, psychologically, or developmentally. When fear is a regular tool used in parenting, and it is a primary motivator to get a child to modify their behavior, what winds up happening is that these children grow up to be preteens, teens, and young adults who hide things from their parents, are more rebellious. And so it's very likely that this little boy, if this cycle continues, he's going to grow up and get himself into a sticky situation where he really wants to call his parents because he wants their help, but he doesn't trust them to help them, especially daddy. He's afraid of what daddy will do if he gets into a sticky situation. It's not going to prevent him from getting into those situations. It's probably going to make him be really silent about it and to hide it really, really well. And the reason we know this is there's a lot of us grown adults who did this very same thing because we had parents who parented like this.